Hey, I'm back from my break, and this is the Let's Talk About Pop Music for summer of 2022. And I swear, with every single season, we get fewer and fewer new songs, but I was able to come up with 8 songs to talk about. Let's get started. It's kind of strange listening to a Beyonce song that doesn't sound like it's made specifically for Beyonce and her fans, because that's the vibe I'm getting from most of her stuff lately, but this seems to be a genuine effort to make like a radio-friendly, accessible pop song. I guess she just wanted to prove that she could do that if she wanted to still, and obviously she can. Though I will say she doesn't exactly seem to be in her element in this song. Still, overall, I would say that Break My Soul is good enough. It kind of reminds me of Nice Roulette, which I do appreciate. From the way it sounds, and I'm not the only person to make this connection, it sounds a lot like Sour Candy by Lady Gaga and Blackpink. In fact, I would say the whole thing has a very early Lady Gaga sort of vibe to it. Like that point where she does that like voice where even though I can't see her hands, I feel like she's doing weird hand motions while she's talking. That kind of stuff. Still, overall, I think that this song is okay. It certainly could have been a lot worse. The first thing and I'm sure a lot of other people noticed about First Class is that it heavily samples Glamorous by Fergie. Why Jack Harlow would want to take so much from a song that wasn't even very good to begin with, I'm not sure, but it's not the worst use of a sample we'll talk about. We'll get to that later. This sample is still pretty underwhelming, and that's what I would say to sum up this entire song, really. For a song that is so short, it really just seems to go all over the place. There doesn't really seem to be any sort of like theme or thought process or like train of thought. It goes from I'm a superstar to you're sleeping on me to I can make you a superstar to there are some drawbacks to this life to this life is awesome. It's just messy. This whole thing comes off as very much first draft, first take. This is more like a demo of a song than, a song. Also, I would love to know what Jack Harlow defines as being slept on, considering the fact that this is like his 3rd mega hit. I would go as far to say that Glamorous is better than this song, because at least that one was entertaining in how much it missed the mark at a few points. With this, I don't feel anything except for dull annoyance. I do generally like Lizzo, but I don't care for this song at all. It's not terrible, but it's just, I'm not into it. The way that it starts out with It's Thick 30, that really feels like she's trying to capture the I just took a DNA test line, make another TikTok meme. Maybe that did happen, maybe it didn't, I don't know. And I don't exactly fault her for trying that, but that's also very transparently what that is. This almost seems to be like Lizzo's take on a future nostalgia sort of song. And that has the potential to be really great because as powerful a presence as Dua Lipa is, her personality is pretty subdued. That is absolutely not the case with Lizzo. But I feel like the main draw of Future Nostalgia's music was that it was really well-made, meticulously written, produced music, and I would not say that about this song. My biggest issue with About Damn Time is its chorus, which has almost this sinister undertone to it. I understand that a minor key and minor chords don't necessarily mean dark and brooding and evil. I mean, Break My Soul uses almost entirely minor chords, but they were like quick little stabs and there was a sense of movement. This song just sits on the minor first chord for like half of the chorus. Compared to other Lizzo songs, this one doesn't really form its own identity. If you wanted a better empowerment anthem, you would go to Juice. If you wanted a better party song, you would go to Good as Hell. About Damn Time doesn't really bring anything new or spectacular to the table. Again, it's not bad, I don't hate it, but it's just not for me. It is so bizarre to me that I'm talking about a Kate Bush song from 1985 in this video about American hit songs in 2022. We've seen similar things like this happen in the past. If a song is used in a movie or if an artist dies, their songs will be in the top 10 and then they'll immediately disappear, but that is not the case with Running Up That Hill. Apparently, after it got used in Stranger Things, it didn't just go up on the charts and then disappeared. It stayed up high on the charts. It's still there. That might actually make this the most belated sleeper hit of all time. I think it says a lot about how little new music we're getting at this moment, that we are reaching all the way back into Kate Bush songs from 1985 in order to find stuff to listen to. But if we were to do that with a song, this is certainly not a bad choice. I think that Running Up That Hill is pretty good. If I were to make a more modern comparison, that 3-note riff reminds me a lot of Dancing on My Own but Robin, but this is very much an 80s song. Sort of those like weird, mysterious synth songs like Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics, which I have nothing against. The content of this song is wanting to switch places with the partner in order for the two to understand each other better, which is so far removed from what we're talking about in pop music nowadays. Even the deeper songs are more about understanding the self. So I guess to sum up, I have absolutely no idea how or why this happened, but I'm not complaining. I'm pretty sure Future has been on the scene for like a decade by now, and this entire time he has always been so mid. As Drake and Maroon 5 have already demonstrated, if you're mid for long enough, you will become absolutely insufferable, but that hasn't happened with Future, and I think it's because Future is a lot easier to ignore. I mean, it's kind of hard to get sick of someone you barely even notice is there in the first place. Wait For You is basically standard Future, a middle-of-the-road mumble rap song. The contents are basically just If the World Was Ending made into hip-hop, which, I mean, okay. Thames is okay, but Drake and Future, they barely even exist on this song. I would say that this is definitely lazy music, but it's not offensively lazy music. In fact, I kind of respect it. For almost a decade now, Future has been just of the times enough and just inoffensive enough to be completely ignorable and just blend right into the background. This man is a master of camouflage, and I mean, play your strengths, I guess, whatever puts bread on the table. Oh yay, Nicki Minaj got another song to shoot up to #1 because of her obsessive, toxic fan base that's so horrible even she doesn't want to put up with them. I've been reviewing pop music for a long time, so I was able to pick up on the fact that she has done this exact same song already. Back in 2014, she released Anaconda, which was another over-the-top sex jam that revolved entirely around its use of a sample. It wasn't good the first time, and it's even worse now because she has already done it. That's something that I think pushes something from ignorably lazy to offensively lazy when they can't even be bothered to find new ways to put in the bare minimum. But even if you ignore that aspect of the song, it's still terrible. Not only is the market completely oversaturated with rap songs that can boil down to I do sex good, but this song is just gross at several points. And somehow that's made even worse by the fact that Nicki Minaj just sounds so bored. This is also the worst way a sample could feel, where it's not sort of putting an old idea in a new context or reinforcing or augmenting an original idea. The sample is just being put there for recognizability and so that they don't have to come up with new production. Seriously, MC Hammer did so much more with this song than Nicki Minaj. Super Freaky Girl is just bad. Like, obviously on its face, bad. If this is the best she can do nowadays, she probably should have stayed retired. Harry Styles' solo output up until now has ranged from really amazing to at least good enough, but As It Was is the first song I've heard from him that I just don't really like. I think with a lot of the other ones like Falling, Golden, Sign of the Times, Adore You, Watermelon Sugar, there was something distinctive about it, something that made it like uniquely Harry Styles. I don't really think that's the case with As It Was. It just sounds like an MGMT song that turns into a Christmas carol at the end for some reason. And As It Was is so short and unobtrusive, there really isn't much else to say about it. I just don't care for it. Next song. Full transparency, talking about this song is the main reason why I wanted to make this video. I really wanted to talk about how great it is. The subject matter is immaculately made and phrased. Like, it's not often that a pop song can so accurately describe the way I'm feeling to such an extent that it feels like a personal call out, but Numb Little Bug did just that. The lyrics match the vibe of this song perfectly because this, and I mean this as a compliment, is the most Gen Z song I've ever heard. This isn't about millennial depression or angst. This is about Zoomer discontent that's always there and never goes away no matter what you do. It's one of the most insidious kinds of sadness because it's all but faded into the background, but it has an effect on your daily life. The song I would compare this the most to would be Modern Loneliness by Low, which is also sort of about like, there's no particular reason why I'm unhappy, yet here we are. But I think this is even better because in addition to that, it's also so catchy and fun. I don't want this to just be another one of those one and done crossover TikTok songs like Sunday Best or Super Lonely. I want to hear more from Mbehold. Numb Little Bug blew every other summer jam out of the water and at this point is by far my favorite hit song of the entire year. I can't recommend it enough. And that's the end of the video, and also the end of my break from uploading. There definitely is going to be 31 Horror Nights this year. It's going to start October 1st like it always does. There might be another video before then, but there's definitely going to be Horror Nights. Hope I'll see you then.